Hello and welcome to a Cup of Grace and Lori podcast. I'm Grace.
And I'm Lori.
And this is episode 16 of our podcast.
Woo.
And in today's episode, we're getting up there. So
Yeah.
in this episode, we decided to share some tips on how to practice self-love. So Lori and I prepared some answers, but we didn't share them with each other. So we're just going to go back and forth. So Lori, did you want to start? You have any tips on how to love ourselves?
I thought I would start with one that is not so obvious.
Good.
I mean, there are the obvious ones, but I thought I'd start with this one, which is saying no when you really don't want to do something.
Excellent.
And that's for me, that's self-love, because you're honoring your own your heart, or your own, your energy, your passions, whatever. And often we get guilted, or we feel guilty about saying no. And I actually use that. It's funny. When I feel guilty, then I know that it's the right decision, which is weird. But if I say no and I start to feel guilty, I know it's the right decision to say no. I'm not sure why, but
okay, because the guilt is it's coming from an external source.
Right.
Right?
Well, no, it's from me. It's internalized, right? It's my own guilt that I've internalized. And and the thought process are, oh, why should I why am I being so selfish? Why am I not thinking of the other person? All of these things.
Okay.
Right.
Yes. But that's internal, external.
I mean, I've had a pattern in my life of pleasing other people.
Yeah, we're people pleasers.
Yeah. No, I don't want to say we are, because I don't feel I am anymore. I don't feel I am anymore.
Good for you.
I mean, there's it sometimes creeps in, but I wouldn't call I'm a former people pleaser.
You're a recovering people pleaser.
People pleaser. Yeah. So because I've been saying no much more often, and especially like it started off a couple of years ago when I decided I'm not going to go to all these blogger events. I'm only going to go to the ones that really, that I really think would add value, or that I would enjoy, or enjoy, whatever. So that's when I started saying no to those events. And then, I mean, I'm saying no to certain business opportunities that just aren't aligned with, what I'm trying to achieve. So I am definitely saying no more often, and it feels great. And I know it improves your money energy as well when you say no. It definitely improves your money energy, because you're saying, no, I don't want this. Here's what I want. And so saying no allows you to focus on what you do want. Right? Yeah. Actively practicing this. And
that's good. And that's the hard one. I think a lot of people have a tendency to say yes. They're guilted into saying yes when they want to say no.
Right.
And
it's fine to say yes when you want to say yes. It's great to say yes.
Exactly. You're honoring what you want, your desires, right?
Yeah.
And when you're saying no, when you don't want to do a certain thing, you're actually, I know this is going to sound like an extreme word, but you're kind of betraying yourself. You're abandoning yourself. When you say yes, when you mean no.
Right. You're right. You are.
And you maybe you think that it's no big deal, but when you continue doing this throughout your life, it accumulates, it adds up, and it chips away at your self-respect.
And you feel resentful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. For me, self-love, like it encompasses, like also, having compassion for yourself, accepting yourself, and respecting yourself, right? Like, Anyway, one of the things that I feel like would be healthy for us to nurture loving ourselves better is to surround ourselves with people who raise us up
Mhm.
rather than pull us down. It's very important
Mhm.
for us to surround ourselves in, in
Mhm.
among people who are, loving, right? Who have a
Yes.
higher vibration. I know that this is a challenge for a lot of people. We don't always have a network of people that we can rely on
Grace, I
who
saw
are
this
very
on,
supportive.
oh, sorry to interrupt. I saw this on Instagram yesterday and I meant to email it to you, but I'm just going to read it really quickly because it's totally on point.
Okay.
Once you connect with an awakened woman, understand that she will not entertain your ego, nor play on lower vibrational frequencies with you. This means you must either rise up and meet her where she is, or be prepared to vibrate out of her experience altogether.
I
None of
love
it,
that.
isn't it great? None of it is personal. All of it is vibrational. Level up or vibrate out. She doesn't mind either way. So I meant to email that to you because I thought, oh, this is just so relevant to what you and I've been discussing over
Hmm.
over all of our episodes of A Cup of Grace and Lori about raising our vibration. And so I love this.
I love
I'll
that
send
quote.
it
And
to
it's
you. I'll
true.
send it to you.
It's
Um,
true. Like,
mhm.
because Lori and I are both on this self-improvement journey, and, we want to better ourselves. And it really helps to be surrounded by like-minded people, right? Who
Mhm.
are at a similar vibration.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's if when we're at a certain vibration, if we're vibrating at a higher frequency, it's very difficult to remain or be in the company of lower vibrations, right?
Yeah,
Like
you
it
feel it
it's
right away. You feel it right away.
absolutely
Yeah.
there's a and it's difficult, it's one of the biggest challenges that I faced
Yeah.
in this journey of realizing, because you hear a lot uh, from people who, write self-help books or whatever, they're
Mhm.
motivational gurus or whatever.
Mhm.
They always say you need to release certain people from your life,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Or release things that don't serve you. So
Mhm.
that includes people, unfortunately,
Yeah.
sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And it can be a challenge because some of those people in your immediate network are family members,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
maybe they're not at at the same
Mhm.
place where you are, right?
Mhm.
And or they could be your colleagues. It's very difficult.
I I think for family members that would be really difficult. That would be
Yeah,
very
especially if you
difficult.
live in the same house or home.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
But then I have to think on the other side of the coin, probably some people released me from their life, before. I'm sure they did. Right?
Totally, totally.
Right?
I was really low vibration.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only just within the past maybe couple years or so,
Yeah. Yeah.
but really more so just within the past few months for me. Like I noticed kind of a shift,
Yeah. But
but I'd been on this
yeah.
self-improvement journey for years, and
Okay.
that's the thing. It takes a long time. Loving yourself, improving
Mhm.
yourself, it takes years.
Mhm.
This is not an overnight thing. So don't think
No.
like you're failing. This is part of the process.
Mhm.
Oftentimes you feel like you're going backwards,
Right.
that you're
Oh, yeah.
regressing,
No,
or
I
you're
know. It's
standing
funny.
still.
It's
That's the
funny.
process.
I was thinking that this week. I thought, I'm taking two steps forward and one step backwards, but at least I don't feel I'm taking one step forward and one step backwards. I do feel like I'm taking two steps forward, and then, sometimes we take a step backwards, but then you process whatever happened or whatever, and then you proceed and you take two or three steps forward again. So in the long run, you do end up, actually this way, higher, higher
That's just part
vibration.
of the journey. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's part of the
So
journey.
yes.
Very important. And there's that
Yeah.
very famous Jim Rohn quote. I don't know if you've heard of it. You are the sum of the five, or something like that. You are the sum of
Yes. five
5 people that you
people.
spend the most time
Right.
with.
I have
It's
heard
true.
that one.
We're highly susceptible. We're influential and we're
Yes.
influenced
Yeah.
by others.
Yeah. And we're not always aware of it, are we? And like we're not aware of it until we actually, or well, maybe you are, but sometimes until you actually sit back and think about it. Oh wow, they do have a big influence on me. You have a big influence on me, Grace,
I
which is
we
great.
we influence each other.
Yeah, we
Yes,
do for sure.
positively. I hope.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
Lori.
thank you. This one is, I mean, we all know this one, but I thought I'd put it on here anyway. And my second tip is taking the time out to shop for and prepare healthy meals. And for me, shopping for healthy meals is fine, but taking the time out to prepare healthy meals, and it's like if you're focused on something. I mean, actually, now because I've lost weight, I'm pretty good at this because I know how important it is. I actually have to, I seem to have to eat every 2.5 hours. Anyway, like I can't go for long periods of time without eating. So I have to know that, okay, I've got this ready for me or that ready for me, you know, to eat every 2 hours. And I do follow a pretty healthy diet. So this one's really important and I am following it, but I follow it pretty religiously. Like I can't just
Mhm.
say, oh, leave, focus on work for 5 or 6 hours and then just open the fridge and go, okay, I have to know that I've got my food prepared, my healthy food prepared and ready for me to eat because as I said, I need to eat every maybe 2.5 hours. I could probably go with without eating so my food needs to be ready for me. Yeah. And I know that this
Okay.
one is difficult for people, especially, you're busy, you're working, right? Even if you're working at home, you're still working on a task and you're focused, right? And
Mhm.
then the intro, oh, I've got to get up and eat, or oh, I've got to get up and prepare my lunch or dinner or whatever. I know it can be challenging, but it's really important. It's just as important to do that as it is to do your work. And
Yes.
I've got this attitude that, oh, work is more important, but it's not. They're equal. They're equal. Work and maintaining your health. Maintaining your health actually is even more important than work, in my opinion, because if you don't have your health, it's very difficult. Work is so difficult and challenging, right? If you don't have your energy or
Well, that's one of the things I wanted to mention about this
okay.
conversation. Why, why self-love, practicing self-love is so important. And,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard, some references about people who do try to take care of themselves, prioritize themselves. Some people describe these people as selfish. What I want to say about that is if we do not take care of ourselves,
Yeah,
right? It's like we're spreading ourselves thin. When
right.
we love and respect ourselves and take
Mm-hmm.
care of ourselves, we have more energy to
To
give to
right,
others.
right.
Because when we're exhausted
Yeah,
and yeah, we're
burnt
not
out.
feeling good about ourselves, we're not giving the best of ourselves. When
No.
you love and respect and accept yourself
Mm-hmm.
and know that you are a powerful being,
Mm-hmm.
it's just automatic. When
Mm-hmm.
you put yourself first, it's automatic. You are going to want to give.
Mm-hmm.
You just automatically just give love
Mm-hmm.
out into the
Because
world.
you feel good and you have the
Yes,
energy and yeah.
exactly. You have more
Mm-hmm.
energy, and you can give more fully, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's like as within, so without. It
Right,
starts from within. It starts
right,
from us. We are more powerful than we give ourselves credit for.
right, right.
So, I mean, yes, it starts with us.
Yes,
It starts with us.
yeah.
Health
That
is
was
important, yes. And
very,
I see this. I
very
see
important.
like you realize what your priorities are. You're also recognizing what's important to you and you're honoring that for yourself.
Yeah,
Okay, you know how your body works. Okay,
yeah.
and you're preparing these meals and I know that you enjoy cooking too,
Yes, I do.
right? Yes.
Yes.
So that's also a joyful experience for
Oh
you
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're honoring yourself there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So another one that I have is basically do things that you want to do, but things that actually scare you or make you uncomfortable.
Oh
So
yes.
the term, right? Step out of your
Oh
comfort zone.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, I'm not saying just do things that scare you because I mean, if you don't want to do it anyway, I don't think it serves any purpose. For
No.
example, I have no desire to skydive, okay?
Right.
I have
Right.
no desire. But there are certain things like, okay, let's say you're like public speaking, okay? A lot of people have a fear of public speaking. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that may makes me nervous as well,
Mm-hmm.
but it's actually something that I want to learn and develop, right?
Grace actually
So
took
yeah, so a few
Toastmasters,
years
and
ago, I attended, I was a member for a short while of Toastmasters, which is, yeah, you develop your speaking and leadership skills. So I was a
yeah,
member at that time. But
yeah,
also now I'm making YouTube videos. I'm podcasting with you, and that is
yes,
also developing my public speaking skills. So
yes.
just, doing things like that. Think of what scares you, but something that scares you but that you actually want
Want
to
to do right,
explore,
right.
right? It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be huge either. For everyone is different. For some people, even leaving the house is scary for them,
Oh
okay?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just open the door.
Right.
Just walk to the garbage disposal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's just these little
Little
steps,
baby. Yeah. Yeah.
okay? And it accumulates. There's it's compound interest or whatever. It
Yeah.
compounds over time. It
Yeah.
builds up
Confidence.
yes,
Yeah.
your confidence and your sense of self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do what scares you, but scares you,
But
but in a good way.
or
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Like it's like don't do what scares you if you don't want to do it. Like
Yeah.
if it's not something you even want to do, like you don't want
Yeah.
to start it. I don't think I do either. I know I haven't had a burning desire to skydive, but I guess the thing is if it excites you, but then there's
Mhm.
that fear that comes afterwards. It's like, well, I want to do this, but then the self-doubt comes up and it's, oh, I don't know if I can do this. I'm not sure. Oh, I'm afraid I won't live up to it or whatever. All those
Yeah.
voices in our head.
Mhm.
Then I would say, yeah, go for it. Absolutely. If it's something you want to do, but there's that fear because feel the fear, but do it anyway. I think is the
Yeah.
expression I've heard or a book or whatever.
Mhm.
So I love that one. I actually really like that one. Yeah.
Yeah. You have
Oh,
any more?
I do. This is obvious, but not always. I'm getting much better at this. And it's taking time out each day for leisure or exercise. And that could be walking, yoga, gardening, reading, whatever. But taking, and like it, we all have different schedules. So you might take an hour, you might take 30 minutes, whatever, even if you can only manage 20 minutes or 25 minutes, whatever.
Mhm.
I think it's really important to do this every day. And I know probably some moms will say, oh, are you crazy? I don't have 20
Mm.
minutes or whatever. And okay, I can appreciate that you might maybe then 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's really important. And I didn't always do this. I had some workaholic tendencies before. I don't think I have them now because I do make this a priority. What Here's the thing. What are we doing all of this for? Like our lives are supposed to be joyful, right? I mean,
Mhm.
if we can't have a half an hour in leisure or in fitness, doing whatever rejuvenates you, my God, what's the point?
Mhm.
What is the point?
Yeah.
Right? One reason I work from home is I got tired of getting up at 6:30 in the morning to be in the office for 8:30 and then getting home at 6 and having like 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and then I was back there again. So I did not like that. I also didn't like being in an office all day long. I did
Mhm.
not like that. Um,
Yeah.
So now, working from home, I do have a break outside in the backyard. I take my book. It could be anywhere. It depends how busy I am that day, but could be just 30 minutes, could be an hour where I take my book and read out in the garden. I also, go walking. I live near the beaches boardwalk, so that's a fun place to go for a walk.
Nice.
Yeah, and I do a bit of gardening, so I need that. Like I need that. It helps you feel grounded as well,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when you're, especially if you're on the computer all day. Oh my God, like we have to get
Mm-hmm.
outside and have a break,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, that is definitely important to me, part of my self-care, self-love regime. There's one
Talk
more,
about.
and it is creating healthy boundaries. But
Oh, that's a good one. That's so
yeah,
important. Okay, glad you
by
mentioned that one.
by clearly communicating needs to others. This one I'm working on.
It's a
I'm
challenge. Yeah.
yeah, but I am at least working on it. I know I wasn't very good at this before. I would always think, don't they know how I feel? Oh my God, my goodness, don't
People
they
are
know
not
how
mind readers.
people aren't mind
I
readers?
wish they were.
And
Well,
not
maybe
only
not all the
that,
time.
it's like how I feel isn't necessarily going to be how someone else feels, right? I mean, just because I
Exactly.
feel that way doesn't mean someone else will. So very important to communicate what you need, what you expect, what you want, whatever, how you're feeling, and then
Yeah.
people know, oh, okay, this is what to expect from her or working with her or whatever. This is what I need to do. Or, and if you don't like it, well, then kind of move on or whatever. Or maybe there's a little bit of flexibility between you, but you definitely have to communicate what you need, and or what your goals are, whatever, to others, so that they can then either work with you, help you, or not, whatever. But as Grace says, people aren't mind readers. We
Yeah.
like to think we are, but especially sometimes women, we think oh, we know, we're intuitive, right? And oh, we know how, right? But it's like, no, you don't. And sometimes reasons that people give aren't the real reasons, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
reasons which people verbalize, there's actually a real reason that they've kept, to themselves. So that's very important to me, and I'm working on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even consider boundaries until recently. I didn't even know what they were.
Okay.
But I kept hearing about it or reading about it, and I realized, yeah, I didn't have any.
Oh,
I didn't have any, and that's probably
okay.
why I got into a lot of emotional and psychical turmoil because I didn't
Okay.
have any. I didn't put those up,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
But yeah, yes,
Maybe you
that's
had them, but you didn't express them. Maybe that's it. Maybe you had them,
okay.
but you didn't express them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't express them, and probably,
Yeah.
yeah, one of the things was, yeah, like I just expected other people to know.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
expected them to be mind readers, and I was upset.
Yeah.
Internally, I didn't express this. I was upset that they couldn't read my mind.
Right. Right.
To me, it's like, well, it just makes sense. My
It's just
goodness,
obvious. I know, especially if
right?
you're
But it's not
referring,
true. Like we make assumptions.
especially if you're referring to female male relationships,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Where,
yes.
as I said, maybe women, we might read each other better, but men don't read us very well. They need to be told. Most men, anyway,
Yeah,
right?
I think they like specifics.
They
Yeah.
like specifics. Yeah.
Which is
So,
good. When you're trying to put up
yeah.
boundaries,
Yeah.
you want to be specific.
Yeah. No, for
It's
sure.
a yeah. And yeah, I can see how it can be a challenge because a lot of us we're still like trying to get to know ourselves, right?
Right.
It's yeah, and so sometimes you need to in order to know what you want,
Mm-hmm.
what makes you feel good, you need to experience contrasting situations. You need to
Right.
experience things that don't work for you.
And then
And that's how you
okay,
know.
that's not what I want here. That helps me
Exactly.
learn what I do want. Yeah, for
Exactly.
sure.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you guys watching. What are some of your tips for self-love, self-care? But otherwise, I think that's a wrap for this week. And thank
Mhm.
you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week with a new topic.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for watching and have a great week, everyone.